Tales from the Block, Episode 2, Drama Unfolding at the Gates of Home Park. As the curtain fell on the 2024/25 season, Plymouth Argyle faced a hard truth. League One beckoned again, but within the heartbreak, there was hope, and that hope then had a name: Miron Muslic. The 42-year-old Austrian had only been in the dugout since January, but in 5 months, he'd become more than a manager. He was a symbol of resilience, of passion, of possibility, and of course, great speech. From tactical discipline to wild, fist-pumping touchline celebrations, Muslic connected with the Green Army like few before him. None more so than on that unforgettable Sunday afternoon FA Cup tie, when Argyle stunned Liverpool at home park. Argyle were then only one of 2 teams who had battled and beaten the eventual Premier League winners that season. Miron noting himself, "Nobody can take this away from us. This is Argyle history." But football, like life, has a way of twisting the narrative when you least expect it. As the season drew to a close, Muslic faced the pressing questions from local sports reporter Chris Errington. "Will you be here next season?" Every time, Muslic dodged it. One week, let's focus on the football. The next, these questions don't help the lads. And finally, after that season-ending defeat to Leeds, he simply said, "I am empty." It was, however, the days leading up to Argyle's final game of the season against Leeds United. The pre-match press conference took an unexpectedly sharp turn. Miron, usually composed, let frustration slip. He openly voiced concerns about the club's structure, highlighting the absence of a head of recruitment and a director of football. It was a rare moment of candor, a public airing of internal issues that hinted at deeper unrest. The room fell silent. It wasn't just a critique. Was that a red flag to what was coming? The fallout of this interview sent shockwaves around the fan base. Many Green Army directing their frustrations firmly at the door of the board, and in particular CEO Andrew Parkinson and Chairman Simon Hallett. Miron must have known what he was doing. That interview was very calculated in the way he delivered it. For Miron, why would any fellow Green Army fan not believe him? He was right. Some will say that this was Miron's plan all along. From that infamous first-team speech, throwing an ex-player under the bus and deflecting what was then another shocking defeat at home park, to calling out your employers like that. The Miron PR machines was clearly in full flow. After a number of weeks of post-season silence, the club and Green Army starting to feel confident that Miron was staying. There were announcements of the new head of football operations, David Fox, an ex-Argyle player, Tom Randall as the new head of recruitment, which, as it happened, had been supporting the club in the final months of the season. As nerves started to calm, what followed was chaos. Rumours exploded across the social platforms and fan forums. Championship clubs out for new managers, and Miron linked with all. Most dismissed it. Muslic and the club had just begun rebuilding. He'd been central in signing Caleb Watts and Jamie Patterson, both announced just days earlier. Those signings weren't just smart business, they were statements. Argyle was planning for a Muslic-led resurgence. The fans believed it, so did the players, so did the board. Until they didn't. On May 28th, late in the evening, the club dropped a short statement. "We have reluctantly granted permission for Miron Muslic to speak with a club in the second Bundesliga." Plymouth held its breath. The social platforms burst into a frenzy of shock and awe. Fans couldn't believe it. Many quickly turning against Miron in disgust. Emergency podcasts left, right and centre as fans wanted to get their views off their chest. Fans yet again found themselves discussing potential candidates. Some valid and some wildly out there. I mean, who's brave to publicly say they think Gary Neville is a worthy shout? But someone did. It wasn't official, not yet. But deep down, everyone knew. He was gone. Just days later, he was spotted outside Schalke's Veltins arena. A statement followed. Muslic was unveiled, contract signed through 2027. Just 5 months after pledging to help Plymouth bounce back stronger. Back home, emotions continued to unravel. Some fans raged, betrayal, Others mourned, some reluctantly understood. Schalke is a sleeping giant, one poster said. Can you blame him? Still, why now, said another. In social feeds and forums across the internet, opinions clashed. From calm reflection, he gave us the Liverpool night. That's more than most. To fury, so much for loyalty. Don't ever fall for the badge kissing again. The heartbreak wasn't just the move, it was the timing, the promises, the feeling that Argyle had finally found a leader, only to lose him just when belief was returning. As for the club, they now face a fourth managerial appointment in just over a year. Names are flying. Argyle's very own Kevin Nankivell and Joe Edwards, Ruben Selles, Des Buckingham, Rob Edwards, and well, yes, Gary Neville. The story far from over, but for now the Green Army are left with questions, memories, and the echo of a departing manager's final words, I am empty. The lights are off at Home Park. But this is just the beginning. This has been episode 2 of Tales from the Block. A quick note about our scenes. This episode contains real events that have been dramatized as we look to bring you current affairs and fiction blended throughout this series. The Block 9 podcast brings you this episode, written and produced by Mike, the Crazy Pilgrim, with the help of AI. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and you can find out more about the Block 9 on all social channels and theblock9.co.uk. Thank you for listening.